All right, all right, all right. What is going on? Squishy,
What's
good
up?
to see you. I apologize. I had to make myself a little food because I just got home. I had to take the dog to get a little allergy shot this morning. The pollen and everything is going crazy, so she's got to get that done. And I ended up just needing a little bit of food before I got on here. So I appreciate y'all giving me a few minutes hanging out. Pop Tarts. Pop Tarts. That's a good choice. Very good choice.
Strawberry, frosted. Just,
Okay, that's
just
that's one of the best ones you could go with. So
it
I totally
is. It
agree there.
is. So we get these we get from Costco, and we get the large boxes of the strawberry, and then we get one regular box of the cherry and one regular box of the blueberry.
Very nice. I,
And up
I
go
I don't
my
like any of the other ones, to be honest, that you just mentioned.
that's okay. That's okay. That's it's for me and nobody else. And
Oh
up go
man.
my saturated fats go through the roof, and that's okay. Well, how are you doing, Amags?
Good, good. My wrist's been giving me a little trouble again. So I had the brace on this morning, but just took it off. I'm like gross. Like I just got in the house a few minutes ago. I was like, I gotta get some food. Oh man. But hey, I got this started up. Got everybody in here. Look at that. We got a bunch of games on tap. I've already been talking in the Sportsline Discord and doing a few things there. So definitely gonna be a good day. I'm gonna I can't even tag her. I'm gonna have to figure out where Jen M is at. Is Jen in here? Because I
I
wore this hat specifically because she asked me to.
have.
Someone's gotta, you know what? I'm gonna send the link over here and I'm gonna tag her and say, I wore this hat. You didn't even show up. Didn't even show up, and I wore the hat. So apologies, Squishy. If you could, maybe let's get ripping here, get started. Just give us a little
Yeah.
rundown on the weather. I know there wasn't too much out there, but we would love to hear from you and get that started.
Well, I'm excited for the day for the slate of baseball. It's a weird kind of slate for. We were talking about this earlier for pitching. We started kind of looking for like hitting props, things like that. If you look at the weather across the board, there's not a ton of weather sort of pro for hitting. A lot of it is winds blowing in, if anything. So maybe some help for the pitchers, but the pitchers going today, they might not necessarily. I might not be interested in a lot of them, but going through this, first game is at 2:10. It's the Detroit Tigers at the White Sox. Not much there. Winds blowing at 15, a bit from left, a bit from right. This is from the Prop Finder weather app from Kevin Roth. The next game doesn't start until a little bit later. It's 4:05. It's the Padres at the Washington Nationals at Nationals Park. Nice weather. Wind looks to be blowing in, though, as well here. So 10 to 15 miles per hour. 4:05 as well. These are late afternoon games. Winds are going to be out to right about 10 miles per hour. So maybe a slight bump to bats, maybe. Blue Jays at Orioles, 4:05. These are a lot of these games start at 4 Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to get some late afternoon ball, a bunch of starts at the same time. Blue Jays at Orioles, winds are blowing in at 10 to 15 miles per hour, which surface level makes you think about Savage pitching and his strikeout prop. However, it's no longer 5.5. It's now 6.5. And I think our projections sort of have them not quite getting there. But we'll cover that later. Winds blowing in at 15 miles per hour or more. Marlins at Mets at Citi Field. Again, 4:10, 4 o'clock it starts. Red Sox at Guardians in Cleveland, 4:10, winds blowing in at 10 to 15 miles per hour. You get the same theme across all these games. The only yellow, game is the Cubs Cardinals, but Kevin doesn't expect that game to be delayed or postponed at all. I expect we play a full game here, and the likely outcome is that we do it without any in-game issues, but there's a few showers and storms around, especially early, late start, or early delay is possible if one of them pops up in the wrong spot. Now, there's other spots here that we haven't talked about. Those are the ones with basically neutral weather, or roofs. And so I don't think there's much that should keep us from putting our bets in early on here, unless you're waiting for lineups. I don't think we need to necessarily look and be weary of the weather too much. I'm going to maybe wait a little bit on the Cubs and Cardinals, but other than that, I think we're okay.
All right, nice. Well, thank you, because I also just ate legitimately like 3/4 of this sandwich while you were talking.
Good.
Crazy.
And
Geez,
I am Stanek says, I think the rain will stay west of St. Louis. I've been looking at sneaking in a round of 9 or 18. You lucky duck.
That's awesome.
Man, that's great.
We also got Scott giving us a little NBA action here. Spurs plus 3.5, he says. Spurs.
Guess who's here?
Who's here?
Your buddy.
Oh, Jen finally joined.
What's up, Jen?
Well, hey, Jen, I would say go enjoy the yard work. You're probably not going to enjoy it, but at least enjoy being outside. And then, yes, I did have to throw on this one of my favorite hats here, the tri-tone white, blue, red with that vintage logo. I love these. Love these hats.
And Liddy says, smash the like for good luck. I really like that. Also subscribe if you haven't. And like we always say, go on your grandmother's account and subscribe on there as well. Go to your corner store, get a little over-the-counter deli sandwich, pop on their phone, log on, and subscribe for them. They'll be happy.
Yeah, I appreciate anyone that subscribes. And as we talked about last time, I think it was like I needed one subscriber to get to 140, and then someone unsubscribed like during the show. It was probably Jeff, truthfully.
Jeff.
Yeah. He's probably just messing with me, because then after the show it went up to I think it was 141. So we need 9 to get to 150 now, I believe. It might be 8, actually. Might be at 142. 9 people. There's got to be 9 people in here that did not hit subscribe. Gotta be 9 people.
Although I gotta say, Daniel Greer, Amags eating breakfast at this time screams no kids. That is actually debatable. All right. Because sometimes we gotta feed the kids. We gotta, get their stuff going.
Kids. Hold on.
You gotta get them out the door to their grandparents' house.
Look at this.
Then, get the I mean, if it was, I get my coffee in the morning like real early, but hey, cheers.
She's sitting here begging. My kid is sitting here begging for this food right now.
Well,
the plate is so close to her face. Oh, man. He said, all I see is pepper.
Dude,
hey,
thank
just subscribe. First time here on the show. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, I appreciate Kalo the Rockstar. I mean, what a name. What a name. That's a sick name. So thank you for being here. And thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Said he's an early Edge fan, so it makes sense to be here. So thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
So Amags, we got this.
My dog is the real star.
He's the real star. Yeah, exactly. So tell me, we got this early game here, and my question is about what your thoughts are on the outcome of the Murakami injury.
So the outcome of the Murakami injury is tough. But at the same time, it also makes way for one of their top prospects. It might actually be their top prospect, Jacob Gonzalez, to come up and fill the role. And Gonzalez has actually been crushing it at AAA. So while I do think there's going to be an offensive fall off, I don't know if it'll be maybe as much as we originally thought. Like immediately last night when I heard that news, I was watching the post game, so I heard the news at the moment that Will Venable gave it to us, and immediately was like, really bad. That's bad for offense. It's terrible for their offense. But and as Jen has given us some White Sox props, and as she mentioned, guys like Miguel Vargas, they're still going to be in there. Miguel Vargas against lefties specifically, just a masher. If you look at, I was pretty surprised to see his average against righties was actually, down near 200, but man, just mashing lefties. He gets another one here today in Framber Valdez. So I love the hit run RBI for Vargas. I've already played it, as Jen mentioned there. And she also gives us my draw, and then she's got the money line, which let me look here real quick. Is the price still the same? Yeah, similar price, plus 104. It looks like on FanDuel. The only thing is my numbers kind of have it where that number should be it should be a bit better on the White Sox money line, but something maybe that isn't fully playing into some of those projections and those numbers is that this Tigers bullpen is probably going to be pretty depleted. You know, not only Finnegan, you know, blowing the save, giving up the lead, Anderson coming in, and now I believe it's 3 days in a row that he's pitched with, you know, 40 plus pitches. Anderson came in and gave up the home run. Like, that's probably, and they've already, you know, got injuries back there. That's probably a really tough back end of the bullpen for them here today. So I wouldn't even be like shocked if it was low scoring through most of the game, and then, you know, somehow the White Sox find a way, which they seem to continue to be doing. This Tigers team will get better once they get, you know, Gleyber Torres back. They have some injuries that you know, those guys will be coming back, so I think they'll be better in the future. But side with the White Sox here today, I think that if this game is low scoring, like halfway through, I'll look for a live over, maybe a live, you know, say it's like 1-1 into the sixth inning or something. You could get a live over 4.5, or, you know, a really good number where I could see either bullpen, but I could see the Detroit bullpen really struggling. Much to my chagrin, I have had some ups and downs with Sir Anthony Dominguez so far this year. So pitched was fine yesterday, but just always weirdly has a chance to blow up. So Tigers, Scott says 8-22 on the road. He says, is that true? Well, a great way to look at some of this stuff is in its most basic form here, and I'll share this with you real quick. Let me take this banner down too, since we already started. I don't know if you guys use MLB.com for their standings, but like a pretty nice, clean way to do it, clean way to look at things. So I'll share my screen here with you real quick.
So I just,
so if you want to look at, yeah, Vargas
like
plus,
that.
minus
like
110, man. Get that on MGM now. Get that.
It's actually minus 103 on DraftKings right now.
Look at that. That's even better. It was minus 110 earlier on FanDuel, or on DraftKings, but wow, minus 103. I wouldn't mind.
I would not mind having that be one of our not official plays, but like one of our chat official plays. Seems like a lot of people like that. What's up, Katie Taylor?
Katie Taylor in the building.
She must have had to be like grading all these papers and stuff. You must have been in the depths of finishing the school year, maybe. Was that? But it's great to see you back.
This one here from Big Time Tigers fan. Good to see you, Rob. He says someone gets injured literally every day on the Tigers. Oh man. Well, as you can see here, I pulled up the standings. This is just on MLB.com. If you go to, you know, MLB.com scores, it's like they'll have the scores. Then up at the top, you'll see standings, everything else. So this is one of my favorite ways just to very quickly look at some of those home and away numbers. So as we brought up here, yes, away, the Tigers 8-22 away this year. They're also 9-17 against teams that are above 500. So that's pretty interesting. They have not been winners against teams that have been good themselves. So you look at this division, though, the White Sox +1 on the run differential, right? You've got everyone else here in the division, though, especially these Tigers, right? -33, -32, -55. The Twins, I don't think any of us really thought they'd be all that good. They started out kind of hot. Now -14 on the run differential. So it's probably going to be one of these two teams that ends up winning the division, truthfully, unless, you know, one of these bottom feeder teams here is going to make a run, especially with the way that it looks the Tigers are going to trade Skubal and they've had so many injuries. Yeah, I think that they're probably kind of cooked. And yeah, as Scott mentioned, these two numbers here, the 8-22 on the road and 9-17 against teams above 500, really just speak to the fact that we would want to like the White Sox here today. And you're getting plus money. like I said, projections wise, it says the number really should maybe be closer to plus 120. So you're probably not getting much value. It might be a negative EV bet here, but my brain is just saying I think the White Sox win this one. Even some of the other projections here that I've got to kind of have it as a pretty close game. Both teams right around 4 runs. If it's a close game, I'm taking this White Sox team all day, just the way that they've been playing. So, yes, Jen, I do like the White Sox, and we've already got other folks here. Jason Harad, who I just found out it has a different name in our Discord. I did not know. So good to see you there, Jason. I now see the tree picture is the same. He says, I also like Vargas and sprinkled a stolen base. He has one against this pitcher before, and with the wind in, Murakami out, I think Sox push for more stolen bases, more running, that kind of thing. I don't disagree there. I had mentioned that, Vargas is a really like opportunistic base stealer. If you look here at the White Sox, and I think this is still sharing the tab, tell me if it's not. You look at the White Sox roster here. My goodness, how many pop-ups could there be? Vargas. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to get team stats. Why do some of them hide the stats under the 3 dots? Some of them have it up here in the heading. I don't think that's a team by team thing. I think that's an MLB.com thing. I don't know why. Anyways, if you look at stolen bases here, Vargas leads the team in stolen bases, yet he's not really a guy that you would think of for speed. And so it more so, I think, plays the fact that he is an opportunistic base stealer when he sees that he has an ability to steal a base. Like you said, off a pitcher, he maybe has had success before. Success.
No, yeah.
Against before.
First one was right.
Yes, there you go. If he's had success there, I do think he starts to look at like, all right, you know what? This catcher doesn't throw out many batters, or he gets run on a lot. This pitcher's, longer to the plate. This is a day I can steal. Whereas, on those other days, he definitely just packs it in. So yeah, plus 850, leading the team in stolen bases. He was 920 the day I played it, and literally that night doesn't get a stolen base. I think the next night or the night after got a stolen base. So if you look plus 1100 on FanDuel, Jen says, I love that. I'm going to take that one. And the hit run RBI that we mentioned as well. Anyone else got questions on this game or anything you want? Because this was certainly one of the games to look at. I mean, I don't trust Valdez. Some of the numbers against Valdez too. Let me stop sharing this here. Some of the numbers for these hitters against Valdez too, actually, I think were pretty good. They had hit him pretty well in the past, I believe. Let me see here real quick. We already got lineups actually. So gonna share this here real quick, and I've got Jen up on the screen by herself. That's pretty funny.
100, 1100. That's great.
So I think you could see this now. Look at these numbers just for some of these hitters that are in there today against Valdez. I mean, Grichuk, Benintendi, Hill, Mydroth. It's not like it's a ton of at-bats, but 6 to 15 at-bats for most of these guys, and they've had some hits. Miguel Vargas looks like he's 3 for 9 there against Valdez. No damage in terms of home runs or RBIs, but still 3 hits. It looks like Quero. Jen, tell me how to say that one. Quero. I think it's Caro. I'm probably not saying it Spanish enough either. You got to have a little twang to it. I did not say that. We need to all agree that I did not say that. That was I said success.
Scott Tyler, dude, you gotta congrats, Scott. June 13th, Alberta, Canada finally gets FanDuel, DK, MGM, Caesars. That's so cool. Shove it down Jeff's throat. It's
Hold
Hard
on,
Rock
what?
Bets.
He said, shove it down Jeff's throat. Jeez.
Because Jeff's only got, Hard Rock in Florida.
Jeez. So we got these lineups ready. You do see Grichuk in there up near the top of the lineup. solid against lefties. I actually think I like Grichuk too here on some props. If we want to look, what do we got on a price for Grichuk on the hit run RBI here? As I pull it up, if anyone's got it in front of them, let me know. But I mean, if we're getting anything that's like even near minus 110, I would play it. We might get a much worse number than that, but let's see. Sportsbooks, hot dogs. What is next? He says. So real quick, because Grichuk here, against the lefties, 325 with a 997 OPS against lefties. Otherwise, you've got 185 against righties for Grichuk. He's got 13 hits and 40 at-bats against lefties this year and 5 in 27 at-bats against righties. So it really is Grichuk against the lefties. I mean, he's had some success, it looked like, there against Valdez so far. That is another one that I'm looking at here. Minus 105 on MGM under the 2+. Minus 110 under the regular. So, yeah, it's a pretty good price in my opinion for Grichuk. I wish he was a little bit better against righties, but that's kind of why you're getting him towards the top of the order here and how good he's been against lefties. Jeff says, why am I getting attacked? What did I do? You're not getting attacked. And then we've got minus 104, Scott says, on DK. So, yeah, I like that one. I like Vargas and who's at plus 135, Katie? Grichuk bases, she says. Okay, very interesting look there on the bases. And then James, thank you for subscribing, brother. I appreciate that. He says, love the Yankees tonight, and that he just subscribed. Thank you very much. I like the Yankees as well, actually. Played them last night. Very easy winner. Easy winner. I will say I like JT Ginn more than Severino last night for sure, but have to at least say that it doesn't really look like the books are at all confident that JT Ginn is going to have a good game here. I mean, they're giving him a 15.5 outs line. They're giving him favor on the under there. And so probably facing the bullpen for 4 at-bats, right? Like if even if Ginn does get into the 6th inning, you're still likely going to be facing that bullpen for a fair portion of the game. You got 14.5 now on DraftKings, minus 160 to the over, and then you got 15.5 still out there, minus 145 to the under. So kind of just speaking, in my opinion, to the fact that Ginn probably doesn't go as long. So I do like the Yankees there too. I already played Ryan Weathers over 5.5 strikeouts. It's a great price when it first opened up on FanDuel, minus 122 last night. It's up close to minus 150 now for the 6th strikeout. So I do like that one. And we got a special guest rolling in, Mark at Better Days Ahead, the Wizard, also known as Rob. What's going on, Mark?
How are you guys? Sorry I'm running so late. It has been one of those crazy mornings, and I'm still not caught up, but I'm desperately clawing away.
It's great to see you.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, great
How
to
you feeling?
see you, man.
I'm
Definitely
feeling
great
good, dude. I'm feeling good. I got my heating pad on, so I'm toasty. It's great.
Oh, is that? I thought you were like wearing a jacket inside, and I was just like, all right, maybe he's like a little chilly.
Yeah, I look, dude. Every week I look stranger and stranger. It's all good. I feel good. This thing is good. It's plugged in.
You know what that reminds me of? Squishy.
I don't know. Probably something stupid, but go ahead.
No. You look like you are the state's witness who's going to testify against the mob, and they've got you in a bulletproof jacket so nothing happens to you.
Dude, they put one straight between my eyes and they follow the shine on my forehead. I wouldn't work, but I've had a good run anyway,
Very funny, man. Well, yeah. Mark, good to see you. Daniel Greer said, well, the show just got worse. And then we had a completely opposite sentiment here from Scott. He says, welcome, Wizard.
Well, we can obviously tell who the smarter one is, right, Scott?
Dude, Scott is so much more smarter.
We'll highlight the Scott message. But Mark, good to see you. I know obviously you're always a very busy guy. Already got the blazer jacket on there. I'm sure you've got something big going on, whether it's you're heading out or you're just coming back. But I want to give you the floor here quick. What do you got for, if there is a Nerfy? I don't even know if we're still able to do that after last week when we talked about it.
Oh, good God. So yes, and it has been, I can tell you it's been one of those weeks with the first inning markets where it is absolutely frustrating. So like on the 3-leg parlays, and yesterday was a great example. We hit 2 of the 3, and then Washington and the Padres decide just to put up a ton of runs in the first inning, and it nuked our parlay ticket right off the bat. The full inning, we've been doing fairly well with all week until last night when we've got literally 2 outs, bottom of the first. Freddie Freeman gets up, and what the hell? He just nukes one opposite field. First, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It was the fastest, smoothest first inning rolling, and then he just bombs it. So I am in full bounce back mode today. I had said yesterday in our little video, Nerfy video, it felt like a sweep, and it damn sure was in the wrong direction. So I'm going to get it to swing back this way. I just put up a video. It's over on the Weekday Wagers YouTube channel. Go check it out. It has all the stats and everything on why I like this 3-team specific parlay. I'm going Boston, Anaheim, and Baltimore. 3-team specific Nerfy parlay at DraftKings. And I know that Fanatics and Bet365 has better odds because at DraftKings, when I looked at that and put it together this morning, it was at -117, those 3-teamers. So I know you can get a different one. You can get a bit much better at Bet365 or
-117, you said?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. It's up on the screen right now. We got Boston, LA, and Baltimore. Maybe I will edit this so it doesn't it has.
And while you're doing that, I will also tell you
let's
those.
hit this. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I bless this. Let's hit it.
There we go.
All right.
We need
That's
a
all I
little.
needed.
We just need a little we need a little bit of. Okay, here we go. Let's focus. Let's get the baseball gods on our side. The That's Baseball Susan gods on our side. Let's hit this.
So here's the other one, because I know we're getting a ton of people. Yeah, and William just pointed out that Nerfy parlay is at -103 on Fanatics. Like I said, you're going to get better odds. Here in New York State, I only have DraftKings and BetMGM. BetMGM pulled these markets 2 weeks ago and have not put them back up yet. So that's all done. I will tell you, for those, and I get a ton of messages about, do we do full inning parlay or full inning Nerfy plays? Yes, and I have 2 of those for today. The Blue Jays and Orioles, I already like the Orioles to stay off the board early. Toronto is facing Brandon Young of the Orioles. He has been decent in the first inning. Toronto's offense, very, very quiet in the first inning over the last 30 days. So perfect. The other one that I really like, and it's juiced through the roof right now, is the Boston and Cleveland no-run first inning. I believe that was at -160, 155 or 160, which is it's almost it becomes a parlay piece, but I hate parlaying full innings. I'd rather target teams. So that's all I got.
Amag.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
we got 2 plays here that are both good. I mean, like I feel like you're gonna.
I want everyone to just 5 seconds. Listen to it. Okay, that's apparently a sound of good luck. It says 888 hertz, and that's a sound of good luck. So that 5 seconds just bless this bet here. 888 hertz. You can't go against that, man.
Nope. The only thing that beats that is 666 hertz.
Well, that might have been what Mark was listening to yesterday for the
Goodness, that was brutal.
Dude.
Speaking of Mark,
check out Mark Time, New York, 1488. Kind found this stream by accident, seeing a couple of faces familiar with other shows, watching late night here in Australia.
Wow.
By the way,
welcome.
Well, Mark, thank you for being here. I feel like the 8s in his name are like also good luck. Like they're
Yep.
I don't want to, speak too much good luck now, but I like the way things are feeling here right now. So let's get this parlay, this team specific Nerfy. We deserve one after the last few random variance hits that we've had over the last few weeks. So that's an awesome one. Thank you, Mark.
You got it. You got it.
Much.
If anybody has any questions on games or anything, feel free. I've got my model. I got the site for the model all kicked up, and we'll tell you exactly what the model likes. And it can be on anything, because I know Daniel Greer dropped in the chat that shouldn't trust my judgment on the NBA game for Game 7 tonight.
Mark, before you go, or as long as you're staying here, I wanted to ask you a quick diversion question.
Yeah.
It's a little bad weather here in New England, and I was looking for some sun, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are on the WNBA game with the Connecticut Sun and their 4.5 point underdog status. If you have a lean there, or if your model has a lean there.
First of all, the Sun's going to get run out of the building by the Sparks. They're going to absolutely get torched. We've got, according to the model, you've got the Sparks winning that straight up 65% of the time. They're covering the spread at 5.5. They're covering the spread at 5.5 at 62% of the time. The over is the actual play there. The line right now is at 167.5. We have it projected to 177.
Nice.
There we go.
So you're saying ladder the spread? No, I'm just kidding.
We also had William pop in, said, just saying, I've been here almost every show. Fanatics always has the best odds for the Nerfy side parlay, which, hey, it's a great point. He says, I think Fanatics is an underrated sports book. They are and they aren't. They are because they certainly have lines and some of the lines that they offer are really only offered at DraftKings and Fanatics. Like there's quite a few that I've seen that it's like DraftKings and Fanatics. This one, it's DraftKings, MGM, Fanatics. Obviously, MGM pulled theirs down, so then it kind of becomes DraftKings and Fanatics. But still, they have some markets that I do like. The only thing I don't like is that they limit you like that. I mean, look, I'm not a massive bettor by any means, but most of the time, $25 to $50 in terms of unit size, depends kind of what sport, but certainly in baseball, about $50 a unit. So if I'm doing half units, I'm throwing $25. And I'm really like very consistent with that. Fanatics, I mean, like $25 is like the limit that I can get down on a lot of bets. Like that they do not want you betting into some of those things. So yes, I think, hey, it's a great spot to find some of these picks. It's just unfortunate how little you can get down on some of their lines. So yeah, it's other people said, look, Fanatics is terrible, got limited in 1 week. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of people out there with that same story of just even if it is limiting to like $25 to $50, it's that becomes tough sometimes. So definitely more options, but of course, more variables.
And if they ever wanted to sponsor the show, I mean,
hey, if they want to sponsor the show, I will wipe the internet clean of the limiting allegations.
They limit to protect you.
Yeah, come on, man.
It's all about safety.
All right, man. All right. That's actually too funny.
You guys got any more to say about the White Sox game, or do you want to move on to the Blue Jays Orioles game?
And William makes a good point here, and I'll put this up before we go on to really start ripping through a few of these games here. I'm not going to touch on every game either, but he makes a good point. He says shocking because I've been upping my units a little recently. I might dial it back. I have been limited on 2 sports books, Fanatics being one of them. And the way that I've avoided a lot of it is, truthfully, one of the biggest ways to avoid it is just avoiding the arbitrage stuff. Now, if you really want to dive into having a ton of different accounts and potentially having people, have accounts for you, whatever you want to say that we won't say and get too deep to in the internet, and you want to arbitrage and take the 11 cents in value that you're getting for a free win, go ahead. But that is like the fastest way to get your accounts just completely torched and limited. If you're continuing to just pick off plus EV, plus EV, plus EV, they definitely figure that out very quickly. So make your bets, have fun. But if you profit a lot, they probably are going to limit you whether or not you're doing that. And then even if you aren't profiting that much, but if you're just continually getting the best of the number before, that plus 110 moves to minus 110 where all the other books are at, if you're continually doing that, they're likely going to catch on. So there you go.
I was told by a man who he understands, he works in the inner workings of this industry. Mix in it with player props, with first inning props, because they are such very niche markets. That's the fastest way to get limited. Mix in totals, mix in sides, mix in spreads. And as long as you are mixing in other wagers where the exposure to the books isn't as large, that's a great way for your book health, to keep your book healthy.
Jen says if you get too serious about making money, they will limit you. Look, there are tons of people out there who gamble, professionally for a living, and they are able to, make a nice living off of it. That percentage of people is so small compared to the percentage of people like Jen, like, a lot of us that do this much more for an entertainment aspect of our lives than something that is, well, I've got to hit X, Y, and Z this week because my bills are coming due, right? There's a huge group of people that enjoy betting on sports, watching sports as an entertainment thing. And so, yes, as you get more serious about making some really legitimate money, they do take notice. But if you're someone that's casually, playing for entertainment, like Mark said, unless you're playing a whole host of like only very specific props or some very specific alternate lines, or if you're just arbitraging, then you're probably likely to get limited. But if you're mixing in a bunch of other bets and your unit sizes are not, incredible, you really should be fine. You really, really should be fine. Yeah. And Prashant says, if you play in low liquidity niche markets consistently, you will get limited. It is like time and time again being said in the chat, being said here, it's the easiest way to get limited when you're just picking off some of those really niche markets that have some good numbers. So
two little nuggets to add to that is try not to bet weird amounts. And if you have a unit size, try to bet in round numbers of that unit or a half unit. Don't bet like $43 on one thing and a 27 or something on another. The books are watching everything that you do. I've read in places also that it can be a one way to get the books off your back is if you like get your money, get a certain amount of money, like you're ready to cash out, have it set to cash out, and then don't cash it out, and then just like go and put another bet in. Because I've personally, like, I just do this for fun, and I pretend it's an adult video game, so I'm trying to just build up my bank account to see the high score, so I've never really cashed out. This is all disposable income. But yeah, again, that's a very interesting strategy. You just take like whatever, like a good percentage of your account, pretend you're gonna line it up like you're gonna cash it out, and then just don't
Yeah, DG makes a good point, and Jen said this too. Very funny. She said throw some Miguel Vargas stolen bases and home run parlays in there. And DG said the same thing. Yeah, you know what? Like I'm not really a proponent of like making square bets just to make square bets that are like significantly negative EV. But everybody wants to have fun. Home run parlays are fun. You're not putting hundreds and hundreds of dollars on these things. Like even like for me, if I'm a $50 bettor, $10 on a home run parlay could pay out really nicely. So yes, we have cashed some home run parlays from the Discord specifically this year. I feel like every day there's been a lot of people close, and then like a few people that will send tickets of ones that they've hit. So we're always talking home runs and all those other types of things in the Sportsline Discord.
That's right. ABT, always be talking.
Always be talking. And talking we are doing. We've got Jeff popping in. Jeff, what is going on?
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are you?
What's up, brother?
Good morning. Good to see you. And by the way, real quick, I wanted to try to get us out of here by about 12:15 or so.
Yep.
So a little under a half hour. So I have three or four things about some of the earlier, and I say earlier, a lot of these games are later, 4 p.m. Eastern and on. You get one early day game, 2 o'clock. That's it. So there's a lot of lineup details and different things that are still yet to come in. So we're not going to touch on every single game, but I do have at least 4 or 5 games that I want to try to directly say something about. If you've got other questions or plays, put them in the chat. So Jeff, what do you got for us here?
I wanted to, I have a couple, I only have 2 plays today, but I wanted to also put you on something else and some of your other people that are listening. Go and check out the Massachusetts bill for bettors. Massachusetts is now the first state that has passed legislation that requires the books tell you what markets that you're limited on and give you a reason. And then so once you're limited on those markets, maybe you can start attacking some of the others and you won't have the limits.
Very nice. I like that. I also just commented here in the chat. So Gus said, and Jen said she won her first parlay the other day and it had taken a little while. Gus goes, I hit 2 out of 3 on Tuesday. I felt like I won. So what I like to do if I'm putting in like a 3 or 4, man home run parlay, then I'll also round robin that by 2s. So, hey, if I hit 2 out of 3 or I hit 2 out of 4, I'm still getting something back. And at those prices, the plus 450 match with the plus 500, you're still getting some nice payouts for, something that it'll cost you like $20 to do, the 4 combinations or 5 combinations, throw $5 on each. You're probably going to make all of your money back if you hit a couple of them. I also play them straight. So if I'm playing 4 home runs, I'll go each of them straight for like a half a unit. And then I'll go the round robin by 2s. And I'll do that for like a quarter unit each or so, which would be, in my case, a bit higher than $5. And then, of course, running the full thing. If I do 4 guys, I generally won't run the round robin by 3s. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a waste of money because if I'm hitting 3 out of 4, I'm going to be, likely on the edge of that, that full parlay anyways. And there may be a cash out option which we can try to look at and see if there's any way to hedge or to cash out. But the 2s, you hit 2 out of 4, like I feel like you hit 2 out of 4 a fair bit. And so those are just frustrating and definitely nice to, like Muncy and parlay, Muncy, and Kurtz yesterday, we've got mention of Jordan, Schwarber, Acuna here today. Squishy mentioned, right? Like if you hit Jordan and Schwarber and then let's say Acuna and you took like Matt Olson and the Braves just don't do anything, but Jordan and Schwarber hit, you're gonna be like, dang, I hit 2 out of 4. I was halfway to my parlay. But if you round robin by 2s, you're still gonna get something back there for those 2. Nice little chunk. And then if you played them each straight, then you're looking at, going 2 out of 4 on straight bets of really solid odds. That's going to be profitable. And then you're going to hit the 2-man round robin. And the full thing goes down, but you've at least got some back. So I generally will round robin by 2s if I'm playing home run parlay.
And I will tell you this, if I could just give a quick shout out to a very good friend of mine, Robbie Hockey.
Is he's still crushing the home runs, huh?
He owns it.
He hit two. He hit two last night.
He owns it. It's great. Watch it
It's,
every day. Watch that show every single day.
I have no idea how he does it, but he'll post in our group text. All of a sudden, he starts sending us winning slips. He crashed a 2,200. Who do you have yesterday? Kurtz and Muncie both went yard, 2,200. I forget who the other one was. He had another single that was plus 3,750. He goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot I cashed this one too." Just that's how routine it is for him. If you're not Robbie Hockey 5123 over on Twitter, I am telling you, so much. He is so worth the follow. He has made me a ton of money.
He should round robin those. Is he round robin in there?
He does it. Yeah, he round robins them. He plays them straight, and that's the way he attacks it.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff, I saw you mention a first at bat strikeout. I want you to at least mention that one while you're here.
Yeah, I like.
What do you like about Alonso today for the first?
I like Pete today. He hasn't faced Savage much. He doesn't know much about Savage's stuff. He's when I attack first bat strikeouts, I'm really looking for the pitcher who gets strikeouts. And Pete Alonso just looks stupid. So I think Alonso strikes out today plus 230.
He just looks stupid. What an analysis. He just looks stupid.
I like pitchers and batters haven't seen their stuff. It's always an adventure.
The as we saw then, and this game is a good one to talk about here. I really don't have anything on Padres Nationals. I lean to the over on the full game. Actually, I think that you're getting a lower number there on the Padres Nationals game because of Michael King. But I'm really not 100% sold that he's going to have a great outing here. If you look at King, real quick here, King on the lefties, 321 WOBA, up from 258 over the last month. So been a bit worse against these lefties of late. Been walking them a good bit too, and the barrel rate for the full season is over 11% against lefties, but almost to 15% over the last month for King. So still getting a low total. And Foster Griffin, I don't really think he's a bad pitcher, truthfully, but at the same time, this really isn't a bad Padres offense, and at some point they've got to get to a lefty like this, in my opinion. So I lean to the over on that one, and then and really quick here, I want to let's see here. Padres. So that's what it was. The Padres just really hadn't seen a ton of lefties. If we talk, and their numbers are coming up now a little bit, but if we talked about that, I think it was last week, right? How they just haven't seen a ton of lefties, wanted to kind of target them with some lefties because they haven't really been great. But I think Griffin is one that they can get to, and they are slightly improving against those lefties. They should not be a near league worst team with a 607 OPS against lefties in May. So as those numbers come up and they face some tough lefties too, but not a bunch of them. So King and Griffin, I lean to the over at a bit of a lower total there. And then the Royals and Rangers really don't have much there. I don't know if anybody else likes something from that game, but was just looking at potential for maybe a breakout from the Royals offense and like a Royals team total, but didn't have much. So to the Savage piece on this other game in Baltimore here, I think Brandon Young kind of stinks. So I do side with the Savage and the Blue Jays. I think the Savage is a significantly better pitcher, but Young actually hasn't been bad. Kind of got to tip your cap to him to find a way through each of these lineups. The thing is that Savage and these Orioles bats, as you mentioned there, Jeff, have never seen Savage. Like none of their hitters have ever seen Savage ever. And so that first time through is actually where I would be looking for some of those strikeouts too. I think just trying to get acclimated. I like Pete. And if I want to mention some other ones here for you real quick, I like Pete, but what about like Taylor Ward, Gunnar Henderson? Those guys have struggled with some strikeouts of late.
I can't do Gunnar. Gunner's made me too much coin. You have to respect him.
All right. So Ward is up to, over the last 30 days, Ward's up to like 31% strikeout rate against righties, where it was, 22, 23% earlier, I guess for a full season. So earlier in the year was even better. So I think that's one where you first batter of the game, never seen him before, striking out at a higher rate. If you look at Taylor Ward, a few games ago had back-to-back 2 strikeout performances. Henderson, that strikeout rate, over 25%. What about Samuel Basallo? Now, I know he hasn't struck out a bunch of late, only one strikeout in the last 5 games, but he did have a run where he was kind of accruing some strikeouts there. Again, Savage been solid against lefties. I mean, it's a 15 to 16, even 17% of late swinging strike rate against lefties, 14, 15% against righties. Actually kind of nails down some of the strikeouts a little bit better against righties so far. But last year, if you look at, some of the damage he did last year, it was really against those lefties with that splitter. So I think that Savage probably gets some of these hitters, and I'm just looking at the numbers. It's Ward, it's Henderson, Basallo, Kowser, and Mayo. Those hitters I definitely am looking at for some first at-bat strikeouts here today against Savage. And then Brandon Young on the other side, if you just real quick, Brandon Young on the season has been a little bit better than over the last 30 days. Really struggled the righties, especially of late. But even on the season, it's a 341 WOBA against righties, 357 of late with a 195 ISO, though. Looking at some hard hit balls and some barrels specifically to righties of late as well. So, things, the shoe might be dropping here. Things might be going a little awry for Brandon Young as time goes on. And I do side with the Blue Jays. I think some of the numbers were actually pointing to the price being a bit too juicy here on the Blue Jays game for sides and totals. But it's minimal value either way, but it would be to Baltimore. Probably it says that the price should probably just be 10 to 15 cents better. Technically it would be worse in this case, closer to even money for the Blue Jays. So probably should be like minus 115 instead of minus 125, minus 130. But it's still not that big of a move where I don't dislike. I guess I would say too, maybe, besides these first at bat strikeouts, because we think they're going to struggle the first time through, maybe like a first 5 under, first 5 under 4.5. If you do get Young to pitch well against Toronto's lineup, first 5 under 4.5. If your Savage pitches well, you're going to likely need it all to come from the Blue Jays. And then all you really need is Brandon Young to be serviceable for a few innings and probably hold him under that total. So it's a thought.
Well, I'll tell you this. Brandon Young faced the Blue Jays once last season. So I know it's, last year's data, but he struck out 6 of them in that
there
game.
You go.
So he has the ability to quiet the Blue Jays here. I do like that first 5 under.
Yeah, I think that's the way to look. I mean, your Savage has just been really solid. But if you look at Young here, he's been solid. The only thing, like I said, is I think at some point there probably is some regression coming. I mean, only one of his pitches is better than average. It's a slider. Everything else is below average. Some of the expected stats, you look at the 3.47 ERA, you get a 4.27 expected, almost a full run higher, and then a 5.21 xFIP. So, like I said, I think there probably is some regression to come, but we saw, I bet against Trevor Rogers yesterday, under 17.5 outs. He was brilliant through 6 innings. He stunk it up in the 7th inning. He didn't even get an out. Gave up 4 runs. So, I'm sorry, it was the 6th inning that happened because I had first 5. No, I had the outs. What am I saying? I had the outs. He went 6 innings, 7th inning, completely just blew up. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto's, stays a lower scoring team for the first 5 at least here.
Great. Any other plays on this game?
The only other one I was looking at was just if you could get your Savage. Now the money line here on this game, even actually Caesars has minus 125. So I guess it is moving back closer to where I think it probably should be. So it doesn't really make for like a stereotypical, this is minus 170, minus 180 on the money line. We like the team, but it's a little juicy. Let's take the pitcher at a severely decreased number of strikeouts, and we think they still can get some strikeouts. It doesn't really make for that type of spot, but if you want to, you definitely could still go. You Savage 5 strikeouts and Toronto money line. Now you're on the Toronto money line for plus 115. And I really think you would have a hard time having your Savage not strike out 5 batters here. I think he might end with 6 though. And so I would be willing to go down to the 5. I don't love going over 6.5. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended with like 6 here. But hey, you know what? We kind of analyzed this a little bit in the Sportsline Discord the other day. It was that Paul Skeens over 6.5 number. It just sat, and he struck out 10, by the way. But it just sat all day, 6.5. Price didn't move. It was minus 105, plus 102, minus 103, plus 106. It was just in that range all day. Nobody really wanted to take a stand to say he's going for a 7 strikeout, 100%. This is a great number, great price. Similar. Like your Savage has been great, but the market isn't really saying like this is a smash spot, great price, must play it for a 7 strikeout. Projection wise, I have him at like 5.8 on my personal stuff. On a couple of other models that I really do like, just over 6. Now I will say one model I also look at was like well over 7 strikeouts, almost to 8 strikeouts. So a little bit of dissension in some of the numbers, I guess, but a majority of what I look at, and if you're looking at like 4 different projection models, like 3 out of those 4 for me today were they were all below 6 strikeouts. The other one was well above 7. So I'm going to think of that one probably as the outlier. And I think the way to do it is, hey, they've never seen this guy before. First time through, your Savage comes out balling. We hit some plus 200, plus 185 on those individual strikeouts, and we can grab some profit there. So that's the thought. Otherwise, 5 strikeouts in Toronto money line on Caesars plus 114.
All right. So if you want to go to a quick another game, I like fading Bailey Ober, the Twins pitcher.
Okay.
I like how the Pirates kind of had their 9th inning walk-off win last night, carry that momentum today. We got Mitch Keller on the mound for the Pirates. 2 ways to look at this. So at first I was looking at it and thinking, oh man, like Mitch Keller is not really a strikeout pitcher very much anymore. He gets weak contact. And therefore I was looking at the under 4.5 Ks, but then maybe I was like, if he lasts long, keeps pitch count down, that he could possibly get over that number. I shied away from it eventually and settled on his over and outs. I think it's not really playable anymore. It's like at minus 150, but I got it at minus 126 on DraftKings earlier in the day. I think he's going to last 6 innings. I think he keeps the pitch count manageable. But one spot that could be decent if we like fading Bailey Ober is the F5 money line is still minus 130. It's a little juiced. If you wanted to take the run line, you could, but just a couple leans. I love the outs over at minus 126. It's not really playable anymore, though.
Yeah, I'm actually looking here to see. You can get the Pirates money line, plus odds over 4.5. Have them projecting, right around 5 runs. Actually looks like, wow, the Ballpark Pal projection has them under 4 runs, and I have them right at 5. So that's really interesting. Now, I don't love the Ballpark Pal stuff, but I do at least like to see what everyone in the market is kind of projecting here on some of this stuff.
I'll take
it. Fangraphs is going to give you 4.5 runs, so they actually don't have them fully to 5 as well. I think that's the way I would try to fade him, or maybe some player props. Bailey Ober last, in May here, 3 out of his 4 starts, he only lasted 5 innings, giving up 3, 4, and 5 earned runs, at least 6 hits in each of those 3. So yes, he had the 9-inning complete game shutout, 2 hits against Miami, but the other 3 in May here, 5 innings, 5 runs, 6 hits, 5 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, 5 innings, 4 runs, 7 hits, 5 home runs across those 3 starts. So I do think the fade is where I would want to be instead of backing him. And also, too, something interesting. He was a 275 allowed guy to righties and lefties last year. If you look at the splits this year, he's 202 to lefties, 235 to righties. I would think that both of those numbers come up and he's due for regression. But really, to the lefties, I think he's due for some regression. I mean, you're 70 points or better on that batting average year over year, yet you've still given up 7 home runs to lefties in 33 innings this year. So, I mean, the power has been there. The damage has been there. 24 hits in 33 innings, but 7 have been home runs is really troubling in my opinion. So, Katie Taylor, our resident, I can't even think of the name, Pittsburgh Pirates fan. She's given us Reynolds. She said Reynolds is good for going on hot streaks. Yes, he hit the game winner last night, but he also, I think, had a hit way earlier in the game that cashed the hit run RBI for us, right? So she said Reynolds hit run RBI or bases. I do like taking a look there at that. I think Brandon Lowe might go deep too. I mean, 7 homers against lefties here for Ober. I would not be surprised if you saw a cruise missile or a Brandon Lowe bomb here today as well.
I can tell you that the models over at JustStatSports.com have this game. Minnesota 3.76 expected runs. The Pirates 4.76. It's a exact 1-run differential. What I can tell you, here's the cheat code for those models. If you subscribe over there, fantastic. First of all, thank you. We appreciate it. But second, if not, go subscribe, because the cheat code for this is on games where there is a 1-run differential or higher. The hit rate for the run line is at 73%. You can get the Pittsburgh Pirates on the run line at plus 144. That is the best play for this game that I see. We were talking about how do you keep your book healthy? By playing sides and totals.
There you go.
This is one way. To still keep the chances and the probability as far in your favor as possible by using things like the models over there at JustStatSports.com and using it to your advantage. The other game I will tell you, which is it's one of my official plays over on the website, is the LA Angels Tampa Bay Rays. The run differential there is 1.89. I am playing the Rays on the money line. I played it yesterday. They cashed for me yesterday. They're doing it again today.
Money line or run line?
Run line. I'm sorry. Run line.
Love it.
Say less.
What
Mark.
do you
say less? I'm clicking.
What do you think of Amags? Given all this stuff,
I like it.
Mark too, and Mark, what do you think about F7 team total over 3.5 at plus 110
for the Pirates?
Yes.
Yeah, love it.
I think I like that more than the full game, actually, now that we talk about it, because the thought is that they can get to Bailey Ober, right? The thought is that if Ober continues on some of that trajectory of, like we saw 3 out of his last 4 allowing over that number of runs anyways, he could actually be slightly better than he's been in those 3 out of 4 in May and still cash us the over, as they say. I like the over against Ober. I love the first 7 look, though, because if we think they're going to be winning anyways, right, you're going to be dropping that bottom of the 9th inning most likely. So, obviously we saw them score in the 9th yesterday, but I think
they're going to carry that momentum over today and score some early, though. That's what I hope for. And then we can cash the F17 total at plus money over 3.5, and then we can cash the run line at plus 144. Did you say?
Yeah,
Mark.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I like that, and we're definitely going to skip over a couple of these games here. Mets Marlins, I don't have anything for. Guardians and Red Sox, I truthfully, I would love to go against Sonny Gray, but he has been slightly better. And then I do like Parker Messick, especially at home here. I like him too. Red Sox have been like a little bit hot though, and the thought with Messick when I was looking here was like the strikeouts. Projected as one of the better strikeout options here today, but the numbers pushed up too. So I don't have a specific play or anything on those.
Well, that's
But
my
you are
second
getting
play,
left behind.
Amags.
Ooh,
That's my
Amags.
second play, so you can hate it. I have Sonny Gray. I altered him up 1 strikeout from the 4.5 to 5.5. So I have Sonny Gray 6 strikeouts plus 120.
There you go. Yeah, I gotta say, I
my
don't think
last
Sonny
play,
Gray
and I'll
is
get out of
great.
here because I got things to do. So I'll give you my last play too. No one tail this. Don't do it. Like, do not do
You got
this.
people coming over again today. You got the grill running. What's going on?
No, I'm recovering. I was vastly overserved last night. Not my fault. The last, do not tail this unless you're an absolute psychopath. I have Ousmane Dembele, man of the match, plus 700 in the Champions League final.
What? Is that even a real person?
Ousmane Dembele? Are you not
Yes.
familiar with Ousmane Dembele's work?
Yeah. Yes.
Ousmane Dembele, I think he threw some relief innings for the Tigers this year. Did he not?
No, he was also
everybody out there.
He was also the villain in the new Jack Ryan movie.
I mean, this is just absurd. Amags, expand your horizons.
He
More
plays
than
for
baseball exists in the world.
Dusseldorf, doesn't he? He plays for Dusseldorf, I think.
You know, we need to you need to read a book or something or expand your horizons. Not everything is just baseball here, buddy.
Or we just hang out with you at the bar, Jeff.
Mark, if you think you can, bring it, bud. Let's go. Let's go.
Jeff, I bid you a good day, Jeff. The only thing I really had to say on that for Gray is that I wish you luck. He said, you know, if you'd be crazy to tail the Ousmane Dembele, whatever his name is. I don't really love the Sonny Gray one either, but I bid you good luck. The thing I'll say on Gray is just that he's been significantly worse at striking out lefties, and you're most likely only going to get 2 righties in this lineup here today. Everybody else a lefty or switch hitter. So you got Hoskins and Hedges. Now I would just play Hoskins and Hedges to strike out. If you like Gray for the full game strikeouts, I don't think there's a way in HE double hockey sticks he gets to that number unless he strikes out Hoskins and Hedges at least once a piece, if not twice. So we had
well, I don't recommend anyone tail me. I'm a psychopath, bro.
I'm agreeing with you a little bit. I think you take the righties, and I actually think Hoskins might be really the one to take here because, you know, pushed up a little bit higher in the order. If you look at him before the game yesterday, it was 1-3, 1-2, 1-1-1 in terms of strikeouts, at least one a game, but there's definitely some upside too for a couple of strikeouts. And Gray in the last month when he's faced these righties, I know it's only 31 plate appearances, but he struck out, about 10 of them here. I can't do the math quickly, but it's 35%, 13.5%.
Last time he faced Cleveland, he struck out 11 batters.
Yeah, it was 9 Ks against KC, and then he had 4 against Minnesota with 3 earned runs. But I mean, for 4 straight starts, he was really solid with 1 or 0 earned.
I'll ride the lightning. I don't care.
Day.
I bet like a psychopath, Max. I'm betting first at bat strikeouts, total strikeouts, and I have a Dembele man of the match at plus 700. If that's not a psychopath betting, nothing is. Enjoy your day.
Hey, have any of you guys ever had sex in HE double hockey sticks before?
What?
Oh, I was just, because
I didn't say these things, everyone. I did not say these things. I did not say that. I said success. Success.
Yes, you did.
I said success. I'm going to get canceled off YouTube. They're going to flag my video.
You're just going to get limited. You're just going to get limited.
Oh, man. Hey, we got a live bet here from Rob real quick. It's another soccer one. He says Arsenal scored playing PSG first half goal plus 130. Is Dembele playing already right now? This guy gave us a live bet on man of the match, a game that started already.
I got a tip on that from one of my friends too.
Dembele plus 205 anytime goal scorer. I would think that's a pretty good bet because if he's man of the match, he's got to score a goal, right? Like if he's gonna win man of the match, you think he scores. So plus 205, getting better than double your money there.
My buddy said Dembele and Saka. I don't even know who these guys are, man.
Those are restaurants, I think, down the road from me.
It is
really
good.
Not true.
Do you go?
Why does it sound like a sushi order?
Yeah. Do you do cold Saka? Do you do cold Saka or hot Saka?
Yeah, like these are not real, man. These are not real.
Starboy, awesome, love him.
The only good sake is poured from a bourbon bottle.
I'll bet the draw.
So look, I don't have anything else to say on that. I do lean over on Parker Messick's strikeouts. The other
I will say just real quick on that.
Ahead.
The first 5 under 3.5 at -125 is a great look. I like the full game under as well, except that's at 6.5. That's at -110. I just think instead of relying on either either Boston or Cleveland's bullpens, targeting you pay a little more at -125, but it may be worth it in the end because you're not leaving it to chance with the bullpens.
Good point.
Yeah, I like that. I definitely like that, and I'm glad that everyone here in the chat can laugh at me.
Dude, if we don't laugh, we cry. This is a world of happiness and laughter, man.
I want to get us out of here in a couple minutes, but one more game I did want to touch on here is the Rays and the Angels. I side with the Rays, but I have to say it's kind of, I would say it's just a lean. Like, I actually think the Angels are kind of live here. The only thought is that I really do like this matchup for Drew Rasmussen. I just think maybe the matchup for the Rays hitters is a little bit worse than some of us are maybe making it out to be. Like Detmers, I could see him just having a solid start where he's pitching to contact a lot. You know, this team obviously makes a bunch of contacts. So I don't think he has the number of strikeouts that we saw last time for sure. But I would not be surprised if we saw Detmers have, you know, a rather solid start. I mean, on the season, it's a 148 ISO, a 297 WOBA. Of late, 128 ISO, 284 WOBA against right-handed batters with 6 to 7% barrel rate. Like, he's not really been, at least underlying metrics wise, he's not really been getting like cracked, like just teed up. Like he's not. He'll give up a few runs in each start. It kind of looks like he has obviously the 8 earned run blow up against the Athletics, but everything else is pretty solid. 5 and 4 in there in terms of earned runs, but one was against Atlanta, one was against Toronto. Everything else is 3, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1. So I do think that sneaky Reed Detmers might have a solid game. And on the other side, I like this matchup for Rasmussen because, and I guess I'll update this real quick to see if we've got a lineup. Probably not. We have a Rays lineup. Nothing super notable there. But we don't have a lineup here from the Angels yet. And I guess just my thought is that, like, we'll see how many lefties are in there. But let me move this to last 30. So Rasmussen this year, especially for these strikeouts this year against lefties is where the strikeouts have come from. He's been good to both sides of the plate. But we'll see how many lefties he gets in there today. I lean, to the under on the strikeouts. Only have 2 in the projected lineup. Really don't think that many strikeouts for him today, but I think he'll be fine just in terms of the actual matchup. I mean, against righties, a .095 ISO with a 158 WOBA on the year. If you want just the surface level numbers for Rasmussen, been better at home slightly, but I really don't care about such a negligible difference. The difference here is that it's a 135 average against right-handed batters and a 258 average against lefties. And this is a righty-heavy order. Every time the Angels go out there, it's a righty-heavy order. They've tried to get a little bit more lefties in there this year. Josh Lowe, you've got freaking Adam Frazier. I couldn't think of his name. I wanted to call him Brian Roberts, which is crazy. That's a crazy pull from back in the day. I mean, they were both Orioles, to be fair. Adam Frazier, Brian Roberts. They remind me of each other. But yeah, I think, if you have a lineup that's lacking left-handed bats, Rasmussen is going to be a tough matchup for you. 135 against righties, only 10 hits against right-handed batters in 22 innings this year. If you look at lefties, It's 34 hits and 5 home runs in 32 innings for him. So a lineup that lacks punch from the left side of the plate. I think that this one could either stay under full game, under first 5, or actually wouldn't mind fading some of his strikeouts. Now, funny enough, because of the matchup with the Angels being so strikeout heavy, they're not a team that I am fading pitchers against, because anybody could go off against this lineup. But funny enough, I have a projection here that is slightly below, actually a good bit below 6, slightly below the projection. The line at 5.5. We're under 5.5 even for the projection. We're not getting close to 6. I will say a couple other projection systems have him over 6 or as a solid matchup here. So we'll see what happens, but I just don't see anything in the underlying metrics that would make me think strikeouts from him against righties. It's really just a lack of production for those righties more than anything. And I think that could get to him today. So I like Rays, but I think the price is now getting a little bit out of hand. So like Mark said, Pirates, Rays, like those teams, I'd probably want to go -1.5, even though they are the home team. Going to get that plus money. And we still think that they're, in good spots to win the game. So just needed by a couple of runs.
I will say this about the Angels. The Angels' issue has been one, they can't get consistent starting pitching, which is always a troublesome against a lineup like the Rays. The biggest Achilles heel for them is they don't have a bullpen. They don't have anybody in the bullpen that they can go to stop the bleeding and get them a solid, 2-3 quiet innings. They don't have that. Against the Tampa Bay Rays, that is a recipe for failure. We saw it last night. Last night's game was a perfect example. It was nice and quiet. In fact, it was all tied up going into the bottom of the 6th. After the 6th inning, in the 7th, the floodgates opened because the Angels have no arms in the bullpen. There's no Angels in that outfield bullpen who's going to save them. And I think that, especially after the disaster last night, the only way to attack this game for me, the Angels and Rays game, is literally on the run line. And you can get that for plus 135.
Where is Danny Glover?
Yeah, I like that. I like that look. And the rest of the slate here. So we do have another 4:00 game. Actually, I didn't realize that was at 4:00. It's 4:10 Eastern time. You get Sproat and Lambert, Brewers and Astros. I didn't even see any Brewers or Astros comments really. So I'm kind of just going to skip over that one. I lean to the Astros side. I don't think Sproat is a great pitcher, truthfully. I think, he's had some good starts here or there, but let me pull up the numbers here real quick. So he's had, a solid start there against St. Louis earlier this month, 0 earned, but then it's 3 earned and, at least in 5 of his last 6 starts, at least 3 earned. And the walks, I believe, have been an issue for him as well. So I don't think Sproat is a very good pitcher, like I said. And looking to fade him with a good lineup on the other side in the Brewer or in the Astros, I should say. Yordan Alvarez in there confirmed. Jeremy Pena leading off. Walker in there. Paredes in there. Smith in there. Vasquez in there. I actually love seeing Vasquez in there over Cesar Salazar. So that's pretty big in my opinion too. So I actually don't think this is a bad matchup for maybe like the F5 for the Astros, because I don't trust getting in past these starting pitchers. I think Lambert could keep the Brewers off the board for a little bit, but not anything that I love here where I'm running to bet it. Okay, so on these last few games, I have something to say about the Braves. I have something to say about the Cubs and the Yankees. I don't have anything on Phillies Dodgers really. I saw somebody in here, I don't remember who it was saying Sasaki stinks, got to fade him. And I actually don't necessarily disagree, because I think this is a tougher lineup to get through, especially for a guy that can have some walk issues. But I at least got to give Sasaki some credit. Like, he's been better. He's turned in, a few good starts. And I think they're really trying to work with him on sequencing. They're really trying to work with him on just pitch selection and how often he can keep some of these pitches in the zone, some of the stuff that he's throwing, I think, or was throwing. Sometimes I think some of the sequencing was just causing him to not be able to find the zone. And so I don't doubt he could have a good start here. I'm not going to bet on it, but I'm also not going to stack up bats against him here tonight. And it could be, I guess, a team total thing, but I think I would look to full game over before anything else. Luzardo has blow-up potential. Sasaki has blow-up potential. They're two pitchers with, as we've seen this year, very wide range of outcomes. They could have an incredible 7-inning shutout start, and they could also last a couple of innings and get blown up. So I think it's full game over or nothing for me in that one. Really don't have much there. And then looking at Brian Wu late against the D-backs, the Wu strikeout number was actually kind of low here, but don't have many opportunities in the lineup when you look at it. And I actually wish that some of the stuff for Wu was a little bit better on some of the strikeout stuff. I mean, specifically against lefties, you look at a 24-ish % strikeout rate against lefties. That's bumped up way up to almost 30% of late. But you look at some of the underlying stuff, it's like a 9% swinging strike, up to a 10% swing, like a couple percentage, not even. A whiff rate from 18 to 19%. So none of the underlying stuff really says that his strikeout rate against lefties should have jumped this far in the last 30 days from what he's done on the season. So I kind of don't buy some of the recent strikeouts, but if you look in May, yeah, he's been solid with the strikeouts. I mean, last start he only had 4, but then it was 8, 9, 9 in those 3 other starts. And if you look at a couple of starts where he really missed on the strikeouts in his last 5, both of them were against Kansas City. So Wu at 5.5 weirdly feels low, but I don't have any, like, there's nothing to be encouraged about it, about the underlying stuff, specifically against lefties. Righties, he's been fine. Actually been even better of late, and kind of, some nice looking called strike plus whiff up to 28%. I could get down with some of the righty stuff, but the lefty underlying stuff looks downright terrible. So I kind of don't know how he's bumped up some of the strikeout rates. And when you look at the other side, you've got Marte from the left side, Carroll from the left side, Perdomo from the left side, Castillo from the left side, Vargas from the left side. You do get 3 righties in there, 4 righties if Moreno plays, but there's not going to be a ton of righty opportunities. So, woo, he says, Scott. 5.5 is a low number for him, man.
The only thing I have on that game, Amags, is that the Mariners on the money line is juiced to -155. The model doesn't have it necessarily as a run line projection. So I do like the Mariners team total over 3.5 at -115. We've got them projected to 4.
Nice. Okay. So there you go. It's an interesting game for sure. All right. So the 2 things I want to say, Cubs team total and some of these lefties against Leahy, just been, really rough against those lefties. I think there's certainly some regression that is coming that we kind of saw last time. 5 earned runs in 5 innings last time, 7 hits, 2 home runs allowed. The couple of starts, before that, few starts before that were 1-0 and 1 earned runs. But if you look through April, geez, can't talk today. April 3-4-3-2-2 in terms of earned runs. Furthest he got was 5 1/3. So like he's really ascended through the early part of May to pitching into the 6th inning, and 3 out of 4 starts, if you count the one late April, right? 3 out of 4 starts pitch into the 6th inning, had kind of kept other teams off the board there. But, it's multiple walks in each of his starts in May. It feels like the cracks are starting to show where he's had at least 5 hits in 3 of those starts. Worked around some trouble maybe in a couple of them, right? But then last time that trouble finally gets to him for 5 earned runs, 2 home runs. This is a Cubs team that could definitely do it to you. Obviously a really tough game for them yesterday, and blowing that big lead that they were staked early in the game. Shota they get three runs immediately, then just blows that lead for them. I side with Ben Brown and the Cubs here if you want to take a side. I think, getting that away team -1.5 is solid, but it's really the player props from the left side for the Cubs, I think, where I want to go. Hit runs, RBIs. You've got 37 hits in 26 innings with 6 home runs and 15 walks against lefties for Leahy. That's a 336 average. Against righties, he's at 228 with 21 hits in 24 innings. So he's just been drastically worse against lefties. So it's guys like Ian Happ. It's guys like Michael Busch. Even, if you want to go, if you get PCA at the top of the lineup, you want to go to the top of the lineup there. Sure, PCA. You get Michael Busch. You get Ian Happ in the middle of the order. You get potentially Moises Ballesteros towards the bottom, but I don't think I want to play him. Likely to be pinch hit for if a lefty comes in. So it really would just be those 3 lefties in PCA, Busch, and Happ. But really, Busch and Happ on the hit run RBIs is where I was kind of honing in on. And Ben Brown's been awesome lately, Scott says, which is not untrue.
Yeah, I was looking at that. That was a game that I was originally targeting as a Nerfy play. The only thing, and it still is, it still is a terrific candidate for Nerfy if someone wanted to play that. The only reason it didn't make the plays today was the way that the Cubs and the Cardinals have been able to register and generate first inning hits. So over the last 30 days, both teams have been fairly hot. That top of the order for both teams has been able to generate some offense. So it didn't rank as high as the other games, but this is still, look, if you get to about 7:15 Eastern Standard Time in the 4:00 games didn't work out for us, this is a good one to target.
Yeah, I do like that one. And I like the Cubs team total as well. I was looking at that one because trying to go against Leahy. Where did it go? Cubs team total was I think I got 3.5 earlier. Actually, I see 4.5 now. But I believe I got 3.5. Shop around still, because I believe there were some 3.5s out there. Let me see what my bet was. -144 on over 3.5. So that looks like that's kind of gone now. But earlier
we haven't projected a 4.6, so even the 4.5 is still a nice look.
There you go, plus odds. Yeah, the 4.5 there as well. All right, cool. Well, we've got what we got here.
I just saw the comment that Scott threw in the chat. Says Yerfy it is, Mark. Yeah, after my luck, damn right. Play the Yerfy. What the hell?
There you go. Well, here we'll end it on this one. How about the Yankees? I already played Weathers over 5.5 strikeouts. Like I said, the price, in my opinion, was just really good when it came out. I guess I don't love the strikeouts here for Weathers, but he did project over 6 strikeouts. So, the price really needed to be at least like -140 or worse. Comes out at -122. I played it. But we saw just 3 strikeouts for Rodon yesterday. I think he can follow in Rodon's footsteps of keeping him off the board and having a solid outing. So I think Yankees first 5, we already mentioned, maybe Yankees full game. Ginn likely, at least projections wise, likely to be out of there probably around 5 innings. So then you're dealing with the bullpen for 4 full at bats against the Yankees. We saw a bullpen that was just decimated last night with having to cover for Sevy, who only was able to cover a single inning. And with a phantom injury, by the way. I think it was just that he did not want to pitch at home against the Yankees. And so he comes out with some kind of injury. But yeah, I'm siding with Weathers here. I think if you want to go for maybe a bit more of a, I don't want to say, secure type of a play, but if you want to go for a bit of a better play or something that might be a bit safer, maybe you go to Caesars, you go to Weathers for like 4 strikeouts and the Yankees money line. And I would have to think you're probably able to, just knowing Caesars and knowing the prices we get here, Weathers for 4 strikeouts and the Yankees on the money line is going to get you to -123. So, I mean, you get about a 30-cent discount for what Caesars is telling us is -1250 for Ryan Weathers to have a 4th strikeout here today.
Isn't his numbers not playable? It's minus 133 on DraftKings right now for that 6 strikeout. And I don't know if everybody gets these, but there are live boosts that y'all can use on DraftKings, like a 25%er. If you don't like the odds now, wait for it live. The Yankees are going to be batting first, so if you want to play a Weathers pitching prop and get a discount on it, you can probably play it in that top of that first inning.
Yeah, very nice. I do like
over
that.
on DraftKings, Amags. On DraftKings, you can get Ryan Weathers 5+ strikeouts, 5 or more, and the New York Yankees on the money line. Put that together. That's plus 102.
Yeah, plus 106 for that same thing on Caesars here. So not a great discount. And I always just look at Caesars because we've seen so many times this year they're giving us way better numbers than everyone. I mean, I was able to get Davis Martin and Paul Skeens, which Paul Skeens didn't work out. But I was able to get Martin at 4 strikeouts, I think it was, and the money line for the White Sox the other day.
Yep.
It was like minus 111. That was like minus 160 for that same on FanDuel DraftKings. Very same thing. Skeens 5 strikeouts in the Pirates money line was minus 105 that day. And that was, minus 140 or minus 150 onto DraftKings FanDuel. So Caesars generally is giving us some pretty nice discounts. It looks like on that one, they're rather similar, but I think if you go down to 4 strikeouts on Weather, I mean, it's the lowest number you could get. Minus 123. Like, I don't mind getting on the Yankees money line at a 30-cent discount for a strikeout number that I would be shocked if he didn't hit. I will say Rodon 3 strikeouts last night. So maybe they shock me again. Rodon's number, I think, was 6.5.
It was 6.5.
Yeah, it was a huge, huge number, but I actually had the projection like at 6.5. And so I think it was really much more of a just an outlier anomaly than potentially what we're going to see. Although I will at least give the A's credit. They've been better for strikeouts. So we will see what happens here. Like I said, it was more of a price play than anything when that came out minus 122. Just felt like it should be, a good bit worse, which is why I played it.
Yeah, the Yankees on the run line at Yankees minus 1.5 at plus 104 is a official play of mine that I've already.
There you go. Very nice. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I don't think betting in the minus 155 is really even necessary. The Yankees saved a good bit of their bullpen last night. They should be fine in the back end. The A's should be significantly hurt in the back end here today. And Yankees, I'm a bit shocked, I guess, to say that I'm a bit shocked to see that it's at 15.5 and 14.5 for again. I would have thought maybe it'd be a bit higher, like 16. But you know what? If you get 16.5, you probably get a bunch of under bets. And if you put it at 15.5, it probably makes sense. But yeah, they really are projecting that he's only going to go about 5 innings here. And that just kind of stresses the bullpen once again to where I think at some point those Yankees bats, they come around for a crooked number. So yeah, I like the minus 1.5 there. Same with the Cubs. I run line for the Cubs. And as I was mentioning, that team total, and the Braves was another one, away team, maybe minus 1.5, but also was looking at the team total on that one. I had Braves to score 3 runs, Yankees to score 3 runs this morning was, let me see what I bet it at. It was a pretty good number actually, but I was looking at stuff like that. Maybe Braves 3 runs, Yankees 3 runs, Cubs 3 runs, Yankees 3 runs, something like that, where you're taking them down a little bit. But you're still going to get the full complement of at bats for each of those teams, each of them being the away team here today. So Scott says Langelier's home run. There you go.
Watch Ben Rice. Ben Rice. He went yard last night. He'll go yard again today.
San Francisco treat. Rice Aroni. Every time he's lighting up the scoreboard. I really do like that play a lot. And I really like the run line too.
But you know what I also think is maybe like hold on.
Good call.
So Ben Rice walk is minus 109. I mean, he almost hit for the cycle last night, right? Like,
held in.
I get that it's Aaron Judge hitting behind Rice. I get that. You don't want to walk Rice. But I don't know if you really want to pitch to Rice because it's like he's just been on the whole season, he's been on a tear, right? But like coming off a game where you almost hit for the cycle, like I would have to think they're going to be trying to limit the damage he could do as much as possible. And then to that point, when you look at JT Ginn, I mean, he's been significantly better against right-handed batters. So if there's a guy that they would maybe want to come off of and try to target someone else, it might be Ben Rice in a lefty there. I get it. It's Aaron Judge hitting behind him. But it still makes for a pretty interesting kind of, I guess, an angle here, right? Because
here's the only thing that scares me about that is that Ben Rice has never faced JT Ginn, where Ginn and Judge already have a history. So he might, if I'm thinking from an athletics perspective of, okay, that first at bat advantage pitcher, because really the batter never seen him, still trying to pick up on things, that could possibly carry you through the second time. Is JT Ginn going to be in the lineup that long?
That's the thing. I don't think he lasts all that long, at least projection wise too. Funny enough, I've got one projection here that's projecting Rice to hit third and Judge to hit second. I don't know if we see that happen here, but that would make things even more interesting because then you're going to get 3 lefties in a row. And out of those 3 lefties in Rice, Bellinger, and Chisholm, I think that they would choose to go after Bellinger and Chisholm all day as opposed 100%. To Rice. And just putting him behind Judge would make things very interesting because at that point, then you're not putting him on in front of Judge. So, I do think the walk might be a nice little angle here, but I see what you're saying. Just on the year, at least, JT Ginn significantly worse for walks against lefties too, 13-14% as opposed to around 7% to righties. It almost makes me think too. I mean, Jazz has an 11% walk rate, right? You're going to get Goldschmidt right after Jazz. I know Goldie went deep yesterday, but that is another righty where maybe you try to look past the lefty. Now, Jazz was terrible yesterday, right? 0 for 5. Goldschmidt had a home run, so maybe that kind of plays into it too. But just interesting that you're looking at Chisholm and Rice there as maybe some walk opportunities. I would love to see Rice actually hit behind Judge just for that play. Because that would be, in my opinion, that would be pretty good. Mm-hmm. He may be asked, Scott. Yeah, he may be asked to cover some extra innings, which I think would be good for the Yankees. And maybe that kind of brings you to the over 15.5 plus money. If he's pitching well, he will certainly pitch into the 6th inning. Because they're going to need it. Definitely going to need it. And Katie Taylor, maybe this is a good way to end. She said, Schmidt and Trout home runs. She's always on the home runs. I don't know how she does it. I could not. If Mark is a wizard, she is, I don't know. What do you call, she's like a fortune teller. Like, I don't know.
Profit.
That's a good word actually to use in sports betting. There you go. She is just she's been crushing it. So shout out Katie Taylor and her couple of home run picks. I'm going to go and bet those right now. I'll be tailing you for sure. Anything else you guys got? I kept you about 30 minutes longer than I wanted to, so I appreciate you being here. I talked too much. That's my bad. Anything else? What do you guys got?
So I was trying to look for a Saka Sasaki parlay because they used to be on the same T-ball team back in grade school, but I couldn't find anything live. And I think that soccer game might already be over.
No, it's still going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're still in the first half. The first half is starting to wind down.
Cool. I just made that up. They didn't play in the same T-ball team.
I was like, there's no way. Oh man!
But you guys are all a home run in my book, and I really enjoy this show, man. I love being here with you guys.
Hey,
I love talking through some of these things, and you know what? These were a bunch of my ideas. I'll even show you real quick. These were just a bunch of the ideas that I came here with today. I talked to Squishy a little bit about them earlier. So if you want a recap screen, this isn't going to be a recap screen of everything we talked about, but at the very least, you can take a look at here what I was thinking as some early looks for some of today's games. So no home runs, weather-wise, these three, the Boston game, the Washington game, the Mets game. Of course, we already talked about the hit run RBI for Miguel Vargas, right? All the first at-bat strikeouts, if you guys can see these, if you want to write them down, these are the ones that I picked out, and I actually added Hoskins there. I think I'll probably add a couple more, but these are the ones that I was looking at. As you can see, a good bit, 5 are Orioles facing Savage for the first time here. You have a couple of lefties here against Framber Valdez, who's been significantly better against lefties. So we'll see if those each are in. It looks like Antonacci's in. Looks like Colson is in, but you don't get Peters. So it's just going to be those two for the White Sox. Antonacci 27%, Montgomery 30% against lefties. Like I said, Valdez been better. Then you have the O's there. You have Okamoto. Real quick, Okamoto against Brandon Young. The only thing about Young is that he actually has been, far better. 23 to 25% strikeout rate against righties, where he's 11 to 10% against lefties. So if he's going to strike somebody out, it's going to be a righty. Probably going to be Okamoto with a 35% K rate. He's got a really low strikeout prop, though, so there wasn't really much room to try to fade him, but I would potentially like a fade on like a 4.5 strikeout line for him. How about a couple D-backs, Del Castillo and Waldschmidt against Brian Wu? As I mentioned, Brian Wu against not only the righties on the season, lefties of late, but we mentioned the underlying stuff against lefties really doesn't look good. The only thing is that Del Castillo is at a 29% rate this year, strikeout rate. And Ryan Waldschmidt nearing 40% through 50 plus plate appearances so far for strikeouts. He's been good, but man, way too many strikeouts. And then the last couple here, we had Schwarber for the Phillies going up against Roki Sasaki, who's been better of late as he's kind of turned up some of those changes. Now 25% strikeout rate against lefties with a 12.5, 13% rate, swinging strike rate against those lefties. So you look at Schwarber with the worst strikeout rate in their lineup, generally at least a strikeout or two in each of these games. I wouldn't be surprised if first time through against Sasaki here, he strikes out to start the game. And then last one there on Hoskins, we already talked about in that matchup there for the Guardians going up against Sonny Gray. The righties are where we want to look if we're going to try to target some strikeouts. And an order that doesn't have a lot of righties, one guy. Let's see here. Oh wait, we got a full lineup now. He's not even in there. Look at that. Take him off the list. He's not in there today. Probably because they knew we were betting on him. So there you go for those. And then I won't read out every hit run RBI, but these were just the really like the top hit run RBI picks. Not every one of them is a great number, but each of them is actually pretty solid value based upon their price. I say number, price, same thing. So I generally don't love to go to like minus 140, minus 150 on a lot of these. Try to stick, closer to even money, minus 110, minus 115, minus 120. So some of these are maybe a little bit out of the price range, but each of them still, even with wherever their price is, showed up on my sheet as a pretty solid value nonetheless. And then the last couple of things here, I just said Cubs lefties for hit run RBI. So you're looking at Happ, Bush, and maybe PCA against Leahy. And then, those three team totals. You've got Yankees, Braves, and then Cubs, like I said, was over 3.5 earlier, but I wouldn't mind playing the over 4.5 instead at plus money. I think it's plus 110 or something like that. So there you go. That's what I was looking at for today. And let me get my friends back up here on the screen. There we go. Scott says, this show is awesome. Thank you again for this. He's always a great way to start my Saturday out west. Yes, Scott's out in you're not in Seattle technically, right? You're in Canada, but close by, I believe. So he said, have a great weekend. Go M's. And then we got Matty Ice already coming in. He said Braves over 4.5 on the team total. I do like that one. Prashant said I screenshotted it. There you go, Prashant. There you go. That's a good way to do it. I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody else being here, man. Katie Taylor, of course, thank you for being here. Squishy, thank you for being here. Mark/Rob, the Wizard, thank you for being here as always. And everybody else, thank you.
Can I just ask? Let me just ask a real quick question. It is Game 7 tonight.
How do I
get
this,
7?
Back to this. Here we go. Hold on. There you go. Go ahead.
Oh, well, that was
I didn't mean to go full screen, but full screen is too much.
We're here. Hey, listen. Who do you have winning the NBA Western Conference final tonight?
That's a little better. Who do I have winning the NBA Western Conference Finals?
I think the Spurs.
So, do you guys remember that first game? The first game of the series here, right? Mm-hmm. That's where the Spurs won the first game, right?
Yep.
This is why I'll say the Spurs win. Because I have not watched a game since Shaq since I watched Shaq highlights, because I wasn't even watching Shaq in the league, really. I have not seen, and you could tell me if there's somebody out there that's this dominant, but I haven't seen anybody that dominant, where it didn't matter what kind of defense, it didn't matter what was happening. They just threw the ball up to Wemby, and he was taking it to the rack. He was taking it to him, and it looked like you physically. I'm telling you, I fell asleep. I woke up. I watched the replay of the game at like 3 a.m. And I must have said 50 times as I watched it, he is so dominant. Like he was just dominating the entire game, dominating the glass, dominating the floor. Bless you. Dominating every aspect. I think he travels constantly, Rob says. Maybe he does, but I don't even know if you know he's traveling, because his legs is one step for him is like 15 feet. Yeah. So I think
first of all,
I think that shines through. I think that is the reason they win.
It's hard to tell when aliens are walking, right? I mean, it's just tough to tell. Here's what I will tell you. Not only does OKC win Game 7.
Okay, let's hear it.
But the world will see the dominance that is SGA, the league, back-to-back MVP, and watch him take over this game.
He's got rocks on the bottom of his feet.
Here's the one thing I'll say.
No. Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren, they have figured out how to contain Wemby. Are you going to stop him from scoring? No, absolutely not. But here's what I will tell you. You're not going to see the same kind of antics that you saw in Game 1. No, that is so true. He ran the 3-man weave by himself.
See, I could definitely see.
And I hope DG is listening, because I know DG is cringing right now.
I'm telling you, I could see that happening, yes. But there is just something about watching a game, seeing a guy be that dominant, and just saying, in the biggest moment, like that has to happen again. If that doesn't happen now, of course, yeah, I'd probably feel differently. But that, coupled with the fact that nobody out there is going to convince me that the NBA and the referees associate, whatever you want to call them, has not had some kind of conversation with the referees for tonight's game that says the one thing we cannot do, the absolute one thing that we cannot do tonight is have SGA go for 30 points with, 22 free throws. What was it the other night? He was like 6 of 18, but he had like a ton of free throws, something like that, where it was just incredible numbers. He had a ton of free throws. I wouldn't be surprised if they say in that little back room with the refs before they go out there, it's like a look. This game is being officiated in the same way the first game was being officiated. They're swallowing the whistle because you cannot have that be on the NBA's record as a blemish. There's way too much talk about how bad the NBA is, how bad of a product it is. At the end of the day, Mark, at the end of the day, money, money, money. That's all any of this is about.
Listen.
The NBA cannot have their product look the way that it does when SGA is out there flopping. And I think the higher ups that be make sure the referees call.
Oh, you mean working the system?
I got my tinfoil hat on. Who does
the referees
the
are swallowing the whistle?
Who does the NBA want to win this game?
And you joke though. I'm not
joking. I'm not joking.
There's billions of dollars at stake. There's no way they let this game get out of hand with all those foul calls tonight. There's no way. There's no way with all eyes on Game 7 that they let this guy shoot 20 free throws tonight. There's no way. There's no way.
What?
I think they won.
First of all, they have to call the game. They're not going to let
I'm
this
telling
thing
you,
get
then
out
you're
of
going to,
hand.
at the end of the game, say, how'd they not call those fouls? Because they're told not to.
No, they're going to have to call the fouls. You want to know why? Because that's the only way the Spurs can stop SGA. He is too good when he's on the court. First of all,
but he's not even on the court. When he's on the court, he's standing up half the time. When he's on the court, he's
because
on the floor
because
half
the Spurs have employed a hack attack defense against SGA that every time he gets the ball, they try to disrupt him. Why? They're trying to shake his They're trying to shake his psyche. And you don't win back-to-back MVPs because you got weak psyche. You are mentally tough. You're locked in. It's the only thing that the Spurs know how to do. They can't stop him any other. Who are they going to put on him? They tried putting everybody on him.
It won't matter because they're going to hack, and then it's not going to be called. And SGA is going to let his frustration mount and mount and mount. It's going to boil over at some point.
And
he's going to be like, why am I not getting these calls?
That's when the MVP kicks in. And he
Jokic is in the building?
Fine.
Don't forget
we're going to play this game. Let's play this game, and I will show you why I'm the MVP. And Wemby came in third in that vote. That's all.
There you go. I think that the NBA wants the Spurs to win, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the NBA wants Becky Hammond's comment to come right back into light and say against the New York Knicks, saying that they can't win with a big man, without a big man being their leader. Brunson's their leader. And the NBA is going to get what it wants in Brunson heading up against the San Antonio Spurs. I think that Wemby will. I think
Brunson
Wemby
v. SGA is the matchup that the NBA wants.
I will give you this.
That's fair. Oh,
regardless, and I'm picking up my microphone to get serious now. Regardless, I'll leave it on this. It doesn't matter who wins tonight because the Knicks are taking them down regardless.
Yes.
Oh, no. See?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I will say this.
Bro, your subscribers are dropping off. I think we're at 120, 119.
Before we get out of here,
They went up.
I like OKC to win this. I think OKC covers. I also am playing an official bet for me. Spurs team total over 104.5. The only way the Spurs have a chance to win is if they put up a ton of points and they get out and start running. They won't. If they get out and start running, start making threes, they sail way past this. They've been held under this line just once during this series. I love this spot here.
I like it. I think it's.
I will say I agree with you on that. I agree with you there, and I'll give you this real quick.
Yeah.
This is the last thing I'll give you. I keep saying the last word, but we're on to a whole different sport now. Quarters. The quarters. I believe that it was the fourth quarter. Was it last? It was last game. Fourth quarter under 54.5. I believe that now moved to 14-2 on the playoffs, something like that. Someone mentioned it in the Sportsline channel or in the chat. I believe it was Wednesday or Thursday, whenever that game was, right? I played the under. It hit with ease, I believe. I don't know what the number is now, but I think fourth quarter under. I probably just like keep playing that every game. Now, maybe game 7, it's a little different. Maybe they're pressing at the end, but at the same time too, maybe then you lock in a little bit towards the end, and your defense is a little bit stronger. We'll see what happens, but that was an interesting angle, and I don't know the exact numbers off my head, but I think it was 13-2 that the guy said when he gave that in the chat. I looked into it very quickly. I played it, so then that would mean it would be 14-2 after it hit in the last game. So Prashant says, I want no part of it. Doesn't matter who the Knicks play. Doesn't matter. Give me the what is it? The Sharks, the Beijing Sharks. I don't think they're Beijing, but whatever they are, with Jimmer Fredette, he probably doesn't even play for them anymore.
Too good.
You can give me anybody against this team. I don't care. Knicks are see the thing with the Knicks is that
overrated.
But it doesn't matter how good they are. They are just a gang of guys that are finding ways to win. It's not even a team. It's just it's a gang of guys. They're going to come out and just maul you.
Overrated, overhated. Look, guys, I'm really glad that we
non-annoying Knicks fan.
Yeah,
Jim retired.
Jim retired. Oh man, I'm really glad that we kept this show to an hour like we said we would.
Hey, it was an hour over. We had to talk about NBA. We had to talk about all these other things. Now it was about a half hour longer than I wanted it to be, and then we got talking about NBA here. So
it just means that we enjoy each other's presence.
There we go.
Well, hey, have a great weekend, y'all.
Absolutely.
I am going to give my pup a walk and enjoy some of the rest of the day. Hopefully you guys can do that too. And Mark, congratulations, or I should say not congratulations, good luck at your job interview there that you're going to right after this.
No job interview.
He's all dressed up, man.
I had to all right, I'll admit this. I had to throw on the blazer because I am literally like my ride is pulling up here in about 5 minutes because we have a gig this afternoon, and what I'm wearing for when I go up to play is not the kind of look I wanted to give out while I'm here. So I threw a blazer on over the top of it. And I'm like, no, I gotta go.
It's all right, Mark. I'm getting ready to have a meeting with the Dons.
Well, there you go, man.
Hey, you
Mark,
know nothing.
Thank you for joining us, Mark. Squishy, as always. Thank you for being here. Everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. We're gonna let Mark go do his actual work and stop just playing around, having a little fun here with us. So I appreciate
a lot of fun.
Go enjoy it. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next Saturday